Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, May 19th, and today we're going to take a look back and forward, kind of analyze where each team in the league is, including the new team in Athens, um, go through some of their strengths and some of the things that is kind of a good benchmark for the team. And in a lot of cases, it's off the ice stuff. Um, and then look ahead to some of the challenges that these teams are going to be facing uh, in in the coming season. So. Just went through alphabetically with the franchises, and we'll take a brief look at each, starting with the Athens Rock Lobsters. Yes, we can officially say that now. All right, so Athens, of course, coming into the league as an expansion team. As we are doing this video, they don't have a player, they don't have a coach. Yeah, actually, they do have a coach. They're not going to announce that coach until early in June, but they already have a coach in place. And that's very important because that coach will be helping to make decisions as far as who the team selects in the expansion draft. All right, so very strong front office. As I look at the presentations that the team has made to this point, very strong, very knowledgeable people. These aren't just a whole bunch of greenbacks getting together and say, "Hey, let's have a hockey team." Um, they know what they're doing from the business aspect of things, and that's very important. We as fans don't always really take that into account or see it maybe sometimes as important, but it really is. Um, the marketing, the presentation, the uh, the promotion that's going on with the team, excellent. The challenge, those ticket prices. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of ECHL teams that have cheaper tickets. And that is going to be something to overcome. I'm hoping that perhaps the organization will say, you know what, we were a little aggressive in our prices. We're going to take it down a notch. Um, I think they need to. Will they draw well? I'm sure they will, but anyway. All right, going on to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge just completed their opening season, struggled a lot on the ice, but this team has great fan support. And the players and the fans are really tied together. And that makes for a very strong bond in the community, and it promotes more fans coming in to support the team. So what they have there is great. As the year went on this last season, they got better at bringing in and scouting talent. I think the goaltending is really good. They brought in some better defensivemen. Um, they still need to bring in some really good offensive talent. That was lacking, obviously. Um, that's the challenge, finding people who can put the puck in the net, because you need that in order to be successful on the ice. For the Binghamton Black Bears, they have an extremely strong hockey culture. I mean, there's been pro hockey in Binghamton for over 50 years now, and they've got great facilities and great resources to help everything run, to provide whatever the players need and the staff. Yeah, it's a fantastic hockey environment. The challenge that they have, winning the cup is a good thing. It's also a bad thing in that when you have a group of people that have worked so hard to attain a goal and they attain it, a lot of them say, I want to do this at the next level, or that culminates my career. I'm done. I'm going on to other things in my life. Or, um, they go to another team. Maybe, in this case, a couple players are going to be going to Athens. So retaining the roster is going to be nearly impossible. I was talking with Bob Howard, who does Power Play Post Show for the Binghamton area, and he and I agree. If Binghamton retains 50% of their roster in the next year, that'll be good. And it happened the year before with Danbury. Danbury lost a lot of talent, and they initially struggled. They did great later in the year, but it was a real thing. You lose a lot of talent. The year before, Watertown lost a lot of talent, and they struggled. So, in that sense, winning the cup put some hardships on the team, but that's what you work for. So, anyway, all right. Blue Ridge, the Blue Ridge Bobcats. In my opinion, the list of positives and strengths is a mile long for Blue Ridge, despite them finishing with what would be the worst record in the league on the ice. It was not because they played poorly. Off the ice, this organization is doing phenomenal things. And they're really a model for future potential franchises that, hey, you're coming into a brand new market, someplace that's never seen hockey before. Watch what we're doing. This is how to do it. A lot of good things. The coaching, Coach Simlica is a very good coach. He's got a system implemented. He knows how he wants the team to play. And the challenge is he has not found the right people yet to plug into that system. That's still a challenge. I think they got better as the year went on, but they still need the right personnel, the right people. But the system that they have in place, both on and off the ice, is very, very good. And I think one that lends this franchise to much long-term success. So I think Blue Ridge is in a good spot. Carolina Thunderbirds, great franchise. They've had a tradition and a reputation for winning. And I think one of the things that makes it's so hard for visiting teams to play in Carolina is that weird configuration they have with the ice. There's so much room behind the goals. There's the dead boards. There's the gap in the boards. That's a home ice advantage, very unique, that nobody else has. And Carolina plays it well, and they use it well. Good things happening there. Hopefully they don't lose too much talent this year. And it's going to be tough because they went with a very veteran group this last year. So they really need to recruit new, fresh talent. Can they do that and stay successful and stay on the top tier of the league as far as teams? We shall see. That's a challenge that they have. Columbus River Dragons, they have an extremely strong ownership group, and part of what makes the team and the organization so strong is, they've got such great corporate sponsorship. Every team needs corporate sponsorship to help with money flow and with promotion and whatnot. And the fact that Columbus has contracts with national brands, not just local companies, but national companies, really, really helps them and helps make Columbus an attractive place for new talent to come in. Hey, come play for us. We've got all these amenities. Yeah, it looks good. They've never had a losing season. I think that's part of it. I think a challenge is going to be, again, retention for them. But even more than that, they've been so good, and yet they're not getting over the hump. They have the Ignite Cup, but I'm sorry, it really doesn't count. That was kind of like an NHL bubble situation. It really wasn't a true representation of the team, the league or the process of winning a championship. So Columbus, in my book, still has to get to that next tier where they lift the Commissioner's Cup. Danbury, one of the anchor markets for the Fed. Danbury was an original city for the FPHL back in 2010, and that was the Whalers back then. They've got a very good leadership group with not just with ownership, but with operations. Billy McCreary knows his stuff, and not just coaching wise, not just getting his players ready to play a game, but just with the organization and working with the NAHL team too. I mean, Billy McCreary is a great hockey mind, so that's a great strength for the team. I think they still have to find a new identity. Obviously, the old Trashers, Daniel Amesbury identity has been set aside. And so Danbury kind of has to find a new identity for the fans and the team to latch on to. They played very well towards the end of the year, but I don't think they really have found themselves an identity yet. But I think that'll come. They're going to have to continue to work hard at it, but we'll see what happens this offseason. Hudson Valley, the new team transplanted Elmira. And I'm calling them Hudson Valley because we don't know what they're going to be called. We're going to find out tomorrow. So make sure to keep watch on the news as that is announced. They finished strong at the end of the year. And what really helps them now is they've got new ownership. They don't have to worry about this awful situation that they have with the arena. They've got a place to play. The downside is the facility that they're going into on the small side. The market is on the small side. It's kind of like operating Watertown, only in a different locale. That's very hard to do in today's economic world. Let's see what they do. Can they do it? Absolutely. You get the right people doing things, it'll happen. Mississippi. All right. Location. What an attractive place to play. I mean, hey, you're in an arena that sits on the beach. Heck, that makes Mississippi a very nice place to go to and play. Conversely, the Joe Pace effect, I'm listing it here. Pace is P.T. Barnum. He's every great showman you've ever seen wrapped up into one. Does a great job with promotion, with not just the team, but also the league, with the game. Great job. I don't mean this as a slam. It's just stating a fact. Joe Pace is not the greatest as far as scouting out talent. He's found a few good people. He's found like Hugo Koch and Joakim Nilsson and Yaroslav Yevdokimov. Had to say it. But by and large, he really hasn't been able to find the right people to come in to win. So, the scouting's got to get better. That's the challenge for this next year. Darn it, I'm going to run long on this. Oh, Motor City. They're in the largest market in the whole league, Metro Detroit area. So they have access to thousands upon thousands of fans. And they haven't been able to fill the seats yet. But I think with the expanded media presence that they have, now they're going to be broadcasting games on radio in the market, which I think is great. And I think that's going to draw in a lot of fans. That's tremendous. And they've got a solid coaching staff. And Gordie Brown knows the system he wants to play. He knows how to reach his players. Motor City is built for success. Now, with Babin leaving, that's a challenge. You need some big name to draw in fans. You need a superstar. Babin was a superstar. He's committed to the ECHL for next year. So the question is, who is the next Trevor Babin? Um, that's I think that's what Motor City really has to focus on this next year, bringing in our next superstar. Um, Port Huron, great veteran leadership in Alex Johnson and Matt Graham and Chris Pollan, not just with coaching the team, but with the administration and operation of the organization. And Port Huron, I mean, been they've had pro hockey since 1962, so another long-standing hockey program that the city's been able to enjoy, and that's great. Um, Unfortunately, I think Port Huron may have done themselves a disfavor over the year. Kind of, you know, we got an exclusive club. If you know us, we know you. You're in, but yeah, they need to be a little bit more inclusive. I feel as far as bringing in new talent, some new blood to really help freshen up the team and get them to the next level. Um, like Oscar Wallstrom or Walgren. I'm sorry, Walgren, the goaltender that just came in. He's a big part of that. I think Brian Parsons can help with kind of shedding that good old boys club image and getting more talent into Port Huron. Lastly, Watertown. Great fan loyalty, and that is huge. I mean, Watertown, the Wolves are the only game in town. If you live in an or around Watertown, you know what I'm talking about. There's not much to do there in winter. Um, but the Wolves make it a great place to be, and everyone rallies around the Wolves, win or lose. They've obviously seen great success. They've also seen some pretty deep valleys too. Um, I think one thing that's going to help them. I think one thing that was a problem the last couple of years was ownership. While well intentioned, I don't feel that the ownership that was in place really had an idea as far as how to get things done. New ownership coming in, it's a proven group with Don Kiernan and Barry Soskin working together to lead this team to the next stage. I think that's great because these are hockey minds that are coming in, and I think that'll really help. Um, you know, Unfortunately, a bit of a reputation has been uh, placed on the team over the last couple of years, fair or unfair. And I think that it's going to be a challenge to kind of shed that old reputation and establish a positive reputation to attract players to come in. Obviously, they've had a couple of good players over the last couple of seasons, but they need a better supporting cast. Um, and I think the new ownership group is going to help with that. So that's the challenge: is us bringing in kind of rebuilding that reputation of Watertown is a great place to come and play, and I think they can do it. So anyway, that just going through just my opinion on some of the strengths, some of the challenges looking ahead. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Tomorrow, I will be posting a video here on YouTube talking about my wish list, some of the things that I hope we see in the FPHL this next season. I did it last year. I'm going to do it again this year. And then Tuesday, of course, I'll be on Facebook Live. We're going to have news and notes, including talking about Hudson Valley, or whatever they're going to be called, as all the facts are officially fully revealed. So we'll be talking about that and other things as well going on in the news. I have a feeling that there is going to be potentially some news with coaching released on Monday/Tuesday. So tune in for that. All right. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Have yourselves a great weekend. We'll catch you again tomorrow.